The world is watching Mexico right now, and for good reason. All eyes are fixed on the border, where history is being rewritten in real time. The attention isn't just from neighboring countries, but from people and governments across the globe, each wondering what this transformation will mean for the future. Something big is happening along the border with the United States. The scale of construction is unlike anything seen before, with massive machinery and teams working around the clock to reshape the landscape. Today, on October 17th, 2025, the air buzzes with construction and the promise of a new future. As the sun rises, the energy is palpable. There's a sense that something monumental is underway, something that will echo for generations. This isn't just about new buildings, it's a transformation of a region long defined by conflict and dreams. Old structures are coming down, making way for innovation and opportunity. And the very identity of the border is being reimagined. The border is changing in ways that will impact people everywhere. What happens here will ripple out, affecting economies, families, and communities far beyond these lines. For generations, this line has symbolized hope, struggle, and cultural fusion. It's been a place where dreams collide with reality, and where families have waited, sometimes for years, for a chance at something better. Now, it's becoming a site of massive, futuristic projects, giant data centers, and a new, smarter border wall rising side by side. Technology and tradition are meeting here, creating a landscape that looks toward tomorrow. Economists, tech companies, and governments are all watching as billions pour in and the region becomes a digital hub. The stakes are high, and the investments even higher, as everyone tries to predict what this new border will bring. The story of the US-Mexico border in 2025 is one of ambition, fear, progress, and division. It's a place where hope and anxiety exist side by side, and where every decision shapes the lives of millions. What's happening here previews the future for many countries, balancing technology, resources, and the movement of people. The choices made now will serve as a blueprint for borders everywhere, as nations grapple with similar challenges. The answers to these challenges are being shaped right now, in the deserts of Chihuahua and the plains of Texas. Here, innovation and tradition are in constant negotiation, forging a new path forward. The border story is no longer just local, it's global. Headlines from every continent are tracking these changes, and the world is eager to see what comes next. The world is watching, and the stakes couldn't be higher. What happens here will shape not just the future of Mexico and the United States, but the future of borders everywhere. The border's transformation is staggering. Two worlds rising together, yet so different in their essence. On one side, digital megaprojects like the new data centers near El Paso, powering the internet and AI, creating a hub of technological advancement. These facilities promise high-tech jobs and a new economy, but demand huge amounts of electricity and water, resources that are increasingly precious. On the other, the new border wall, with a $4.5 billion expansion adding hundreds of miles of barriers, including through the Rio Grande, aiming to control and restrict movement. This isn't just a taller fence, it's a new generation of walls, creating deeper buffer zones and more formidable separation, a physical manifestation of division. The paradox is striking. One project connects the world, the other divides it, highlighting the duality of progress and control. Both rise from the same soil, reflecting our era of digital connection and political division, a landscape where the future is being shaped. For locals, this is daily life. Cranes building data centers, crews erecting steel walls, helicopters overhead, a constant reminder of the changing times. The border is now a landscape of extremes, immense digital promise and stark physical control, a place where dreams and realities collide. It's a land of both concrete and code, and the future is being written by the tension between them, a narrative of innovation and restriction. The world's attention is fixed here, where technology and security collide, capturing the global imagination. The stakes are nothing less than the future of the region, a future that will be defined by how we balance these forces. One of the most talked about projects in the tech world right now is Meta's ambitious new data center in El Paso, Texas, just steps from the US-Mexico border. This is not just another building, it's a bold statement about the future of technology and the region itself. Construction kicked off only days ago, but already, Meta is pouring a staggering $1.5 billion into what many are calling a digital fortress. The scale and speed of this investment are drawing attention from across the country. Spanning an incredible 1,000 acres, this facility will soon rank among the world's most powerful data centers. It's being designed from the ground up to handle the immense demands of artificial intelligence, cloud computing, and the ever-growing digital world. The project is already transforming the local economy, bringing 1,800 construction jobs and creating 100 permanent high-paying tech positions. For El Paso, this is more than a building. It's a major economic boost and a chance to become a new tech hub. Meta's data center is just the beginning. It's the anchor of a regional data center boom, with tech giants like OpenAI and Oracle also investing billions in the area, turning the desert into a hotspot for digital infrastructure. But building such massive facilities in the desert isn't easy. Water scarcity and energy demands are huge challenges, especially in a region already facing environmental stress. Meta's answer? Innovative solutions like a closed-loop cooling system that recycles water, and sprawling solar farms to power the facility with renewable energy. These efforts aim to minimize the environmental footprint and set new standards for sustainability. The company is also promising transparency, pledging to report its water and energy use every year. This commitment is meant to reassure both the public and regulators that Meta is serious about responsible growth. Still, the arrival of such a massive project raises big questions. Can it truly be sustainable in the long run? What will it mean for the local community, the environment, and the future of the border region? The desert is fast becoming a digital gold rush, attracting global attention. The world is watching closely to see if this new frontier of technology can deliver on its promises without sacrificing the land and people who call it home. The stakes for El Paso, and for the entire border region, have never been higher, as the city stands on the edge of a digital revolution. The arrival of tech giants like Meta signals a new era for the border region. For decades, cities like El Paso and Ciudad Juarez relied on manufacturing and trade, often low-wage, grueling work. Now, data centers promise a shift to high-tech, knowledge-based jobs and a new economic identity. Billions are pouring in, funding construction, salaries, and public services. The vision's sleek, solar-powered buildings, high-skilled jobs, and a cleaner, more prosperous future. But questions remain. Will locals benefit, or will outsiders fill these roles? Can schools train the needed workforce? What's the environmental cost? The dream of a digital oasis is powerful, but making it real and fair will be a major challenge. The region stands at a crossroads, with opportunity and uncertainty in equal measure. While one part of the border builds a digital future, another reinforces a physical past. The new border wall, with $4.5 billion in contracts, aims to cover over 1,400 miles. This isn't just more fencing, it's a smart wall, packed with sensors, cameras, and drones. Fiber optic cables detect movement, high-res cameras and drones provide round-the-clock surveillance. The government is fast-tracking construction, bypassing environmental laws to speed up the process. Supporters call it necessary for security. Critics warn of environmental damage and lost protections. The wall is also getting taller and more imposing. 30-foot steel barriers now rise in Arizona, funded by the Pentagon. The message: the U.S. is building a high-tech fortress along its southern border. The border is becoming a zone of intense surveillance and control. The future here is one of both innovation and division. Securing the border now means more than just taller walls. The latest plan includes 80 miles of floating barriers, giant buoys and razor wire across the Rio Grande. These river barriers aim to block crossings but raise safety and diplomatic concerns. Secondary walls create no man's lands, trapping anyone who breaches the first barrier in a heavily monitored zone. The border is turning into a multi-layered security corridor, reshaping the landscape and militarizing natural features. The goal: make crossing so difficult few will even try. The consequences, environmental and human, will last for generations. For millions living in border communities, these projects are daily reality. In Ciudad Juarez, military checkpoints disrupt life and create a sense of occupation. Mexico's armed forces now enforce migration, straining community trust and fueling fear. On the U.S. side, border patrol vehicles, helicopters, and surveillance towers are ever present, Even cities far from the border feel the impact, as ICE and National Guard raids spread fear in immigrant communities. Detention centers expand, cementing a culture of enforcement. Life in the shadow of the wall means constant reminders of division and lost connection. Once intertwined communities are being pulled apart, both physically and psychologically. The border's new reality is one of separation, not unity. The push for walls and security is taking a tragic toll on migrants. Sealed crossing points force people into deadly desert routes or into the hands of criminal gangs. Kidnappings and ransom demands are rising, turning migration into a battle for survival. New U.S. policies, steep fines, deportations to Guatemala, and expanded detention add to the hardship. Migrant caravans in southern Mexico show the pressure is felt all along the route. The result? A massive human rights crisis, with people fleeing violence only to face more danger. The border story is not just about concrete and code, it's about the lives caught in between. As megaprojects rise, the border stands at a fork in the road. One path leads to deeper integration, data centers and tech investment tying the region to the global economy. This vision sees the border as a hub of innovation, where economic interests bridge political divides. The other path is deeper division, smarter, taller walls and militarization reinforcing separation. Security is prioritized over human rights and historic ties. In reality, both paths are being pursued at once. Bridges of data, walls of steel. The result is a conflicted future, connection and restriction side by side. Can the region be a global hub while treating people as threats? The world is watching, because the answers found here will echo far beyond this desert. The choices made now will shape the future for generations.